Good morning, everyone. Let's see if you can complete this little verse from a song. He's got the whole world. That's right, he's got the whole world in his hands. As we just heard that from the gospel, right here. It says, Jesus said, the Father has given me, my sheep are in my hand. Okay? No one can take them from me. No one can take them from the Father's hands. He has us. And it's real important that we understand what that means, because it makes an impact on every single day of our life. Now, before we get into that, I do want to say that it was a wonderful time with our 8th grade over these past after the 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We had a great time in D.C., so I think it brought us all together. We learned a lot about our nation, and we also grew in our faith. The first stop was the National Basilica, the Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. And so great celebration of our faith as well. We had a bus driver. He was wonderful, very thoughtful. His name was Aaron, and I had to ask him. I was like, Aaron, do you get people coming up and calling you A.A. Ron? And he said, well, usually it's about an hour into the bus trip and somebody will do that. But he was wonderful to us, and I really want to thank the chaperones that went, and all the young people as well. Last week, we heard and we crystallized the message down to this, and these were the words of Jesus to Peter. He said, feed my sheep. Feed my sheep. What was he saying there? Jesus entrusted his heart to Peter. And what is the heart of our Lord Jesus Christ? The heart is his bride. He entrusted his bride to Peter, that you have to take care of her, that you have to lay down your life for her. Feed my sheep, though, went one step further, and it said, if I'm giving my heart to you, then you have to show me that you're going to give your heart to her. And so the question went out, to whom do you give your heart to? That's God calling. He's calling to turn off your phone.
You done messed up, A.A. Ron!
Okay, so, but also to remind us and to put an exclamation point on that. Again, I ask you, to whom do you give your heart? And then you can maybe identify a few people, and then I ask, well, are you really showing that with your actions? See, that's what Christ was demanding of Peter. I am entrusting you with the thing that means the most to me, my church, my bride. And you need to lay down your life for her. And so it was a good reflection for us. I hope you thought about that during the week. Now today, he's got the whole world in his hands. So the whole world in his hands, really, what does that mean? It's talking about the supernatural gift of hope. The supernatural gift of hope. And just in a little while after Mass, I'm going to baptize this little baby. Baby's not going to look any different. It's not going to talk any different. Or act any different after that baptism, but he will be completely different. In other words, the very dwelling of the Holy Spirit will be within him. Faith, hope, and charity are capacities. Now, whether or not it's ever apparent in him that the Spirit is there will depend on his parents and on his grandparents and the other people of faith in his life. Remember, faith isn't just, I'll just take it on faith because I don't understand it. That's not faith. Faith is a supernatural knowing. What's the square root of 49? Yeah, well, some of you are pretty slow on that, Okay, it's been a while, I guess. But yes, the square root of 49 is 7. And we know that through the natural light of reason. But to know that there is a God, we can know that God exists, God is powerful, God is intelligent, and we're not God. That's the only thing we can know about God through reason. Through faith is a supernatural knowing. I know. Do you know? Do you know that God has a purpose for your life? Do you know that he knows you and wants to be in communion with you in a most true way? And do you know that he's just waiting for you to turn He's waiting for us to turn to him and just speak to him. And he'll speak to us. That's a supernatural gift of faith, but hope is what we celebrate today. Hope is faith oriented towards the future. I don't know what's going to go on in the future, all right? But I know that he's going to be with me, and I know that he's going to bring clarity. What it is not is, I'm going to pray, and I'm going to go to Mass, and I'm going to go to confession, I'm going to do these things, and now I want money, and I want health, and I want no accidents to happen to the family, and I want all kinds of prosperity, and it doesn't work like that. It's a covenant. It's not a this for that relationship. It's, I give all of myself to you, and I want you to give all of yourself to me. Covenant. All right, well, let's see. Covenant is not a contract. Let's see if the young people are awake. So a covenant is not a contract. A contract is an exchange of. I hear you whispering it, so you got to wake up. All right, you got to preach to all of them. A contract is an exchange of. You do this for me, I'll do that for you. Okay, that's a contract. A covenant is a total gift of. Yeah, they know it. Supernatural gift of hope, oriented towards the future. You know, we're celebrating secularly the Mother's Day, so I'm thinking of 3 different examples of somebody who stirred the supernatural gift of hope in me. One, of course, my mother. So in my high school years, my parents got a divorce. She's a single mother. She's making things happen. She's doing her best. And at this point, I'm moving off to the Navy. My sister's moving into senior year in high school. And she feels this movement or call through the Lord to go back to school. Now, at this point, she is an RN. She's a mental health nurse. She's been doing that for 25 years, a diploma nurse. She feels like for some reason, God is calling her to go back to school to get a bachelor's degree. Who knows? I asked her, Mom, why are you doing that? So we're going to be finishing high school. We're going off to college. She says, I don't know, but I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. This is my first step. And I said, well, what about the future? And she goes, I know he's going to make it clear. And I know I just have to start this journey. That's the supernatural gift of hope, and that was a good example for me. And it stirred that understanding that God might ask me to begin to do something. I don't know what he has in mind at the end. At this point, what is neat about this is that he unfolded it. She got her bachelor's, master's, PhD, all within 5 years. And then she started seeing clients. And now, in the twilight of her years, she's here. She's here at our grade school. She's here at our high school. She's here at St. Joseph the Worker. She's over at Sacred Heart of Mary. You know, and she's seeing people for free, okay? Because she wants to give of her time and her talent. Well, he certainly had something in mind for her. Another individual in my life, a woman that made a difference in stirring that supernatural gift of hope, was my girlfriend right before I entered seminary. And as she perceived, and so did I, that there was an unrest in my heart. And I put anesthesia school, deferred that. We unfolded that the relationship was going to have to end, at least for now. And I drove up there, it was 10 hours, to see her. And at the end of our visit, she picked up the guitar and she played me a song. Now, I don't know if there's any Janis Joplin fans out there, but she played me Bobby McGee, and she played it just like Janis sang it, full-throated, full-hearted. And if you don't know the song is all about, 2 people really connecting, and then the one person, there's unrest, and they go, and the other person says, what I hope is that you find what's in your heart. And when she sang that to me, I thought, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I know I have to put these things on hold in order to find what God's placed in my heart. And see how it turned out, okay? So don't worry about her. She married and is very happily married. She's got 5 kids. 5 kids. I got the better deal. So, but just the way that she did that, truly, I'll always remember it. And it stirred that understanding that God was going to bring clarity when it was time. Last one, my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. She was in the hospital. She was dying. We all got to spend time with her, and then everybody left, and I was the only one with her. And she looked at me. Now, when she was a little girl, a little boy threw a rock and hit her right in the eye, and she lost her eye. So she always had a glass eye, and always, there was always a little bit off, and you're always trying to focus on her really looking at you. And I remember she was lying in that bed, and she kind of perked up a little bit, and she looked over, and my whole family calls me Duke. She said, "Duke, you don't have to do this. You don't have to be a priest." And it kind of got choked up a little bit, and I said, "Nanny, I know. I know that I don't have to do this, but it really feels good for you to say that." And again, stirring that supernatural gift of faith or hope, He is going to be with me in the future. He's going to bring the clarity that I need. You don't have to have it all figured out. At the end of Shawshank Redemption, Red is reading a letter that Andy wrote. And Andy is saying, remember, Red, hope is a good thing. Maybe even the best thing. And anything good never ends. He's got you and me truly in His hands. And that's what we have to remember. And that's the gift of hope that's stirred as we move forward, really unknowingly in this world. And He is with us, but we have to orient our heart towards Him. If we do, He'll bring clarity.